Enemy Moab incoming.
Hey guys and girls, how y'all doing? It's Kirsty, or Double FTK as usual, with another gameplay commentary. And we're just playing a little bit of 6v6 kill confirmed today, with of course my favourite little setup, but I'm not going to go into that, mainly because I think we're all a little bit over talking about the gameplay, and I thought today that I could do another fun, sort of interesting story. And the reason why this one in particular come to mind, because I'm sure you guys are wondering what's with the pedo reference in the title, and I will get to that shortly. It definitely is about a real pedo, but I'll actually talk about how I sort of got onto thinking about this, because I actually haven't thought about this person in a few years now, primarily because I haven't actually had anything to do with him for a couple of years now. And the reason why this come to mind is I was having a conversation with my friend Nick a couple of days ago, and you guys actually may know him, but you guys will mostly know him as Aussie Loads. He's also a YouTuber as well, really funny guy. He's definitely one of the nicer, funnier guys on YouTube, and if you're not subbed to him, we'll definitely go and check out his channel. I'm sure you'll find something funny that you'll enjoy. And anyway, he's a really cool dude, but we have quite a few interesting conversations sometimes. We somehow got to the fact of me and more unsavory types of people in life. So no, when I reference the word pedophile, I'm not talking about our good friend Nick here. I'm actually talking about an experience I had when I just turned 18. And I'll tell you how that come about. Because if it wasn't for the field of work I'd chosen to work in, I'm sure that I wouldn't have had such a close relationship with this guy. Anyway, when I was 18, I'd already decided that I wanted to work in the community services field. But also at the time, as you are when you're 18, you're a little bit sick of school after just spending the last 12, 13 years actually at school. Because I don't know how it works in America, but we don't actually start in first grade. We actually start in a grade called prep, which stands for like preparatory. Fuck, I couldn't even say that. I could see it in my head, the word I wanted to say. And I suppose it's been a long time. I don't even know if I've ever really needed to use that word. So you're sort of over school, and the last thing you really want to do is go and do more school. And I'd already decided when I was younger that I was definitely going to work in the community services field. And I did see a big gap where you didn't actually need education, and that was actually within disability services and child protection actually. And this was a few years ago. Things have changed a little bit, but particularly in disability services, our standards in Australia are still around 10 years behind the rest of the world. So when I started my job, you need no qualifications. As long as you don't have a criminal record, you can work with people with disabilities. Which is pretty damn sad, honestly, that our government and system obviously doesn't value these people the same way that they value other citizens. Things are changing slowly, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. So I come in fresh off the street at 18, had no experience in the field, and I got a job in a house with 5 men who had quite serious physical disabilities. Some of them had mild intellectual disabilities, but physical was mainly their thing, and some of them had severe problems with communication. But on my first day, I was working with this particular client who has no problem at all with his communication, yet he has quite a severe physical illness. Well, not illness, I shouldn't say illness, because these people aren't sick. They have a disability, and that was the way that they're born, so that's normal for them. And what this guy's disability was quite a rare disability, where he was actually born with no joints. So he had these little mini arms and these little mini legs, but they had no joints in them, so he couldn't bend them, which of course makes getting around virtually impossible. So he was confined to a wheelchair and needed 100% assistance with everything in life other than eating. And the only reason for that is because we had a special sort of machine contraption that he could put his hand on in order to feed himself. So pretty much full assistance with everything, although this guy can talk and think just as well as you and I. So he's very verbal. So he was a real gruff sort of bastard at first, I don't know, very sort of unsociable. And one of my first jobs at this new job was to actually give this guy a bath. I was told that this would be my first job because he will be able to explain to me exactly what to do, and I wouldn't need any assistance from any other staff member. Because of course, being new, I really had no idea how the fuck I was going to shower these people in, you know, these wheelchairs, especially considering I'm pretty tiny. I'm around 5'2", pretty petite, pretty small. I'm not short and fat, I'm just short and normal. So, you know, but by being that short, it makes you quite small, and it also makes you quite young looking, no matter how old you really get, as I've been discovering recently. And so I was giving this dude a bath, and one of the first things that he asked me, like, he was telling me exactly what to do, and like the boss told me, just take direction from this guy. And of course, he's looked at me, thought, oh, hey, she's young, she's like my perfect victim, I'm going to try and take advantage of her. So he tried to test me, and the first thing he said to me is, would you mind shaving underneath my arms? And I honestly thought that was weird enough as it was. And I didn't do it, of course. Like, I wasn't gonna get yelled at by my boss on the first day. So I sort of questioned him a bit further, and then, I don't know why the fuck he said this, he's gone to me, so if I tell you something, can you not tell the boss? I was going to use her name, but I won't, because otherwise it might actually tell some of you guys who this person is. Not that you guys are going to know him, he's definitely not on YouTube or anything. And then the next thing he asked me was if I could scratch under his arm where his big titties are, because he was a pretty chunky dude, and he wanted me to scratch him like a dog. I don't know why. It was obviously going to get him off in some way. I really wonder though, if I had have actually done it, would have his little legs started shaking like a dog? So anyway, I figured it out pretty damn quickly that this guy had something seriously wrong with him, but it wasn't actually until a week later the boss actually did decide to try and tell me about this. Anyway, I'm not going to be taken advantage of by a pedophile, especially at that age. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this commentary, and I'll talk to you all soon.
Garbage into art. We transform second-hand